Okay, today I'm coming to you from the castle called Akkerman. It's in the city of, what's the city?
Bilhorod-Dnister.
A little louder.
Bilhorod-Dnister.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I said. So now, it's occurred to me that some of you have not subscribed because nobody's subscribed, but everybody's watching. So you guys need to subscribe, and then you can watch the rest of this video in peace without me coming to your house. I know where you live. Enjoy! And now we have the main entrance of the Akkerman Castle. This is the way you would have come in medieval times. Still the same entrance today, kind of neat. And a giant moat that I have been told was once filled with water. And here's the first courtyard just inside the main entrance, which is right over here. The back side of the main entrance. A couple of buildings there, probably garrisons or something, to hold the people that were there to protect the front gate. Keep the wrong people from coming in. Here's some big old rocks behind the chains. I assume these were part of the castle wall at one point. And there's some stairs there in the back that would have taken you up to the top of the garrison to protect the front of the building. And a couple of holes they could have fired arrows out at if they didn't want you there. You see the lake off in the distance here in this courtyard. This is the first courtyard you come in. On the other side of that wall is a secondary courtyard, which is pretty awesome. Also quite large, huge. An entire city, they say, stayed in here safely for over a year during a Turkish invasion. Now, I don't know if the whole thing counts as the castle or just that building there, but either way, it's pretty awesome. These steps aren't made for sissies. Big steps. And this is actually the wall that separates the two courtyards. Here's the first courtyard. We came in the front entrance into this courtyard. And just over this way, we've got the second courtyard with what I assume is the castle out there in the distance. And the lake you can see just beyond that is a very, very large lake, big enough for ships to sail through. Dniester Lake?
Da.
Lake. Dniester Lake. Now, when I was here a few years ago, they let you walk out on this, which was crazy because it was in the same condition it's in right now. But it looks like they're trying to preserve it a little more because chunks fall off of there. You can just fall right down, no problem. Crazy. They still let you walk in pretty cool places though. And what a view of the lake. Just like in the Middle Ages, they have strollers positioned around the fortress, around the castle. And they still let people come in here. Could never get away with this back home. That's part of the fun here. And now we're going down into the torture chamber. This is where you did not want to be taken if you were an enemy combatant. They didn't do any waterboarding down here. Down here you wish they would do waterboarding. First time I came here they said this was a weapons room, but yeah, that's not a weapons room. All the utensils down here, everything they have down here, chairs with spikes where for both your wrist and where you sit and your feet and your head. Horrible, horrible. Spikes on that cross they'd hang you on, a guillotine, shoes with spikes that got drilled into your feet that they could just keep tightening and squeezing, an iron mask up there, same way they could just squeeze screws into your head tighter and tighter. Not exactly a pleasant room. I don't think it'd be pleasant. Hey, a tiny cage to keep you in. I don't think it'd be pleasant whether you were a friend or foe. I wouldn't care for that either way, I don't believe. But who knows? Those were different times. Oh, I believe that's an Iron Maiden right there. Put you inside, close the door, and it spikes drilled into you. I've had a couple of hotel beds that felt about like that. Yeah, we're entering first of two towers. Turns out this one is a little on the dark side, a little anticlimactic. Although, it will give you a pretty good idea of what it was kind of like back in the day. There was no electricity, obviously, so it was lit by, you know, a few candles or torches around the place. A little bit of sunlight, not very great for seeing. Still kind of interesting though. And here's the second of the two towers. And this one, the ceiling is gone. Goes all the way up. And this would have been 4 stories. There would have been floors across here, and there would have been 4 stories up, and would have gone to different rooms. It would have been really interesting. I hope they bring that back one day. That'd be really neat to see. And just in case you didn't know, yeah, just make sure. Gotta really watch out for that peeing one. This place is massive. This castle one time housed an entire city for more than a year whenever the Turks were attacking. And they did all right. In fact, they won, and eventually the Turks went away. Massive castle. Certainly don't see this stuff in America. And this is only half. This is only part of the courtyard. There's more on the other side of that wall over there. We'll go through that gate again. That is originally where we came from, but we'll go it again. Last time I was here, there was no rail on these steps. Over here, they figure if you're dumb enough to fall off, then it's your fault. Got another view of the giant lake, and eventually that lake goes down and connects with the Black Sea. But let's go higher. There's still room to go. Obviously they weren't as tall as I am now back then. Let's look out the courtyard from here. And now reaching the top of one of the lookout points. Another great view of the castle and the courtyard and the lake. But also when I came here last time, this fencing, this rail was not up. So you were just kind of on your own to just be smart enough not to get too close to the edge, because you could walk right up to it and fall right off. Another great view of the moat. I would love to see that full of water someday. Even now with the rail, coming down these steps is tough. There's not a rail everywhere.
Tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad there's a rail. I remember last time, take your life in your hands to check this stuff out. And there used to be no rail at the top. You could just fall right off the edge that I just showed you there. But still was cool. Looks like they're working on something new here. They're always doing work. Out front there's a ton more stuff cleaned up and getting into shape that they didn't have done before. In fact, my friend tells me they didn't even see it yet. They had just found it and started cleaning it up. So that's cool that they're still doing more restoration here. Really awesome place. I don't think this is the way out. Ooh, it looks cool though. And on the other side of the castle wall, it's massive. Looks like we're under attack by a Turkish raider. I didn't trip, that's your imagination. The camera wiggled. Yep, the camera wiggled. That's it. It's like they have some kind of a kids park here. And a direct view of the lake. With fishermen and everything. Not exactly sure what they do here, but the sign said some sort of a family quest. And I saw an X marks the spot, so I guess they're looking for buried treasure or something. Perhaps a series of challenges. Maybe they have to throw a sandbag through that hole. And then there's an actual ship down here on the dock. Huh, that's pretty cool. I wonder if it takes people out. I can't imagine it doesn't. Maybe a little strategy session for the family right there. Cart them off and behead them if they fail the quest. No idea what that one's for. Truth be told, I have no idea what any of them are for, but it's kind of interesting looking. Although I say that one right there on the ground looks like it's just for walking over. Great view of the ship. And a bird just caught himself a fish. It's a great view of the castle from the outside. It's really cool. Castle that protected an entire city for over a year from a Turkish invasion. What's this, a Turk?
It's a girl.
A girl Turk?
Oh.
We're with everybody else. Maybe a lookout post or something. And then a view of the city. Oh, and the moat, which I've been told was once full of water. So it wasn't a dry moat. Kuznia, some sort of metalsmith. Huh, normal stairs. Of course, the medieval broom. Well, let's see what's up here. Oh, these are good steps. This is pretty cool. This is a new edition. Здравствуйте. Got a makeshift art gallery up here. Здравствуйте.
And another great view of the moat. Walls a little bit less repaired here, but still being maintained, which is really nice. Great view of the courtyard with the lake off in the distance. First courtyard again. I'm not sure what those colored doors are for. They were here last time too. But various instruments of destruction and hopefully, I assume, recreated housing there.
Got some cannons. Got a big pot to cook in. They're actually cooking over here. It smells pretty good. Got some suits of armor. Pretty cool. That was Akkerman Castle near Odessa in the Ukraine.